All right, welcome back to the studio, my friends. Today I'm in the shop. Hello, Jem. Give me 5. Welcome to the show. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'd love to be back. Thanks, everybody.
Listen, I've got an idea. I know I put this out on Facebook. 2,000 people asked me to do this video. Hopefully, this will help some people that are out there. So, dun, 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 dun. Welcome back to the show. Your beautiful truck, PiNKY.
I love her.
This used to be based and is based off an Axial SCX10, the first version.
I've had this for a while.
You have had this for many. She is iconic, dear. Many as iconic as
Not
you.
to give away our age.
Look at this, the old original RCSparks logo
too.
right there. Hey, yeah, on the back windshield. There we go. Many years. This
is great.
This is a vehicle of your and I's life, really. Hey, she's been in so many videos.
She has.
The reason I wanted to bring her to the show today is because, as you know, recently I've done some upgrades for your truck after last year's Tough Truck competition.
Thank you.
She was underpowered, running on a 2S LiPo and a single motor.
Chuck, I'm coming for you in the next tug of war.
She wanted some lower grunt power as well as some
torque.
speed.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's right. So a combination. These tires here are those Proline Mashers 2.2. Look at the flex on that. You've had these tires for a long time. These are Vanquish rims, Vanquish products.
They're gorgeous.
On discontinued pink bead locks. Now, they are light and aluminum. That's why they have holes in them. And you like a lighter truck.
Yeah, a lighter truck, ladies and gentlemen, has served me very well.
Yeah, I've definitely had heavier trucks over the years, and PiNKY has always been able to skirt by because she's had the power.
And you've had different height of trucks as well. This has been a great average height and a wonderful weight.
Well, I've changed it all.
I love it. New upgrades.
I'm teasing you
You'll
here.
get a little heavier as we get older.
Before we talk about why we're here today, which is a battery eliminator circuit, or a BEC, we'll get into that in a moment. I have done some upgrades, and Jem has already been informed about them, of course.
They were my birthday and Mother's Day upgrades. So
were you happy with that?
I was amazed, and it was beautiful. Gentlemen, take care of your ladies and fix up their trucks.
You always treat your partner well. That's what I say in the RC hobby, because then you have someone to go and have fun with. So in keeping with the lightness, we aluminum links on the bottom, all brushed aluminum here, keeping her pretty. We already did the axle upgrade video in the last upgrade video for PiNKY, and I've put in a whole steel drive shafts and drive line straight through the transmission.
I'm excited to try it out.
Robinson Racing Products full cast outdrive steel here, so we don't have to worry about your outdrive gear in the inside breaking or doing something silly under the torque of dun 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 dun.
Deux.
Two 27 turn axial brushed motors. Now I choose these motors because 27 turn has a lot of speed, as well as with these 20 tooth pinions on here, you'll see it's all steel as well, including your slipper clutch there. This is going to be able to handle mud and water and still give you some good low down torque and grunt. Right?
Mud, water, and low down torque. All things I need.
Well, last year I know you were screaming to be able to pull the Judge quicker, and really these huge 2.2s that have a lot of grip on there.
They're great tires, by the way.
They need speed. When you need speed, you need to get that wheel speed going. So 3S LiPo. Two brushed motors there, good for water. Savox waterproof servo. I did make you a carbon fiber and aluminum steering horn, and I did straighten out your links, giving her a wider stance because I know you're quick on the wheel.
And I've had a problem with going left over the past few years.
The older high-tech servo was dying at that time, and it didn't have as much speed or as torque as this particular servo that I've chosen.
I'm excited to try it.
Well,
oh wait, but I have tried it.
Yes, and so what is the problem?
So I noticed cutting out. Maybe we can go into some more detail on that.
So cutting out. Normally when I run a dual motor setup, I myself have run either 2 separate ESCs controlling using a Y harness to connect to the receiver, or I use a giant 8-scale ESC, plugging that into the receiver, and I didn't do that this time, and I don't think this is why it's cutting out. Of course, it's the part of the problem, but we're going to be able to fix it. I did use a single Tekin FXR for both of these motors.
Okay.
Why would I do that? People are screaming. It's going to overheat. And especially because I've used Plastidip, a spray-on version, to waterproof it for you. Okay, now I'm experimenting. I know how you drive, and it's not all out all the time. You're very controlled and fairly careful. So I want to watch the temperature on this, but with the BEC that's on the inside here, the battery eliminator circuit, if we could get a proper definition of that, we'll pull it up on Wikipedia for you guys that don't know. When her servo is calling for a lot of power, because the FXR is powering these 2 motors right here, a high-powered servo calls for high power. So when the servo is asking for power, it's cutting out away from the motors. Darling, please read to me what a BEC does right here.
A BEC is an electronic circuit designed to deliver electrical power to other circuitry without the need for multiple batteries.
Awesome, awesome. Underneath here it says radio controlled models. In an electric powered radio control model, the BEC is typically part of the ESC, the electronic speed control. The BEC allows such a model to carry 1 battery, which is normally the LiPo or whatever nickel metal hydride we're using, instead of 2. And you guys can go into this in more detail because I'm getting a little bit of glare off the screen there. Basically, it's a step down unit. So if these motors are calling for, a certain amount of voltage each, and then the servo comes in and asks for more power, when it does, unfortunately, it can override the BEC that's on the inside and cause a brownout.
And I'm all looking for less weight, so if I don't have to have 2 batteries,
well, yeah, you don't
huge.
want to have a battery to run your servo and a battery to run the rest.
So heavy.
I do. Well, overkill,
I know, but that's overkill. This is PiNKY.
And
she's meant to be
so
light and spry.
Exactly, right? Very
Hops
pretty. So what we want to do today is to take this BEC. This is a Castle Creations 10 amp BEC.
Nice and small.
It is very small, and we're going to make sure that it's waterproof today, installed properly, and completely ready to go. So we're not having any power issues here. If we were running a winch, which we are, and an additional lighting system like an LED, that's a lot of draw on one little ESC.
Yeah.
With this, I want to see if we're going to eliminate a lot of heat from the FXR with the BEC because the draw will be different. That's why I want to see if we can get away with running this on 2 motors. So
I love the experiment.
It's exactly it. I'm thinking it will fail eventually, but I'm looking forward to see if it does work because we're going to save people money.
I know. That's great. Saving money, and you know what? It forces us to have quality time down the road. It's like a guaranteed second date. Eventually it'll break, and then we'll have to do this again.
Maybe so, hopefully not with this. So there are different BECs out there. I have used a larger scale one on overkill, so because there's a lot of power going through there.
Will these come in different amperes?
Amps, absolutely. The other one I think is a 25 amp. I can't remember.
Gotcha.
But these have to be programmed as well by a Castle Link. They come regular, I think, as 6 volt. I'll have to confirm in that, or I'll post it in the video description box below. But this can take up to a 6S LiPo, not saying the ESC can, but this gives between 4.8 volts and 9 volts out.
A 6S LiPo, that can take quite a bit.
Oh yeah, well, especially if you're running like a monster truck or something, this is something you can run to power a higher end servo. Okay, shall we get started?
I'm here to help.
Thank you, babe. Let's do it. Jem, darling, will you do me a favor?
Yes.
Will you please show us an example of what's happening just so people can get like a visual?
Please.
Okay, nice. So go ahead, you can find it. Just go ahead and play around the floor and let me know when something's happening, okay? Now I haven't secured the body with body posts or anything. Do you want to try it outside on the gravel? Yeah, because they all want to see the top speed of 2 motors anyway.
So, yeah.
Go ahead, what?
It's starting to gap out a little bit.
Is it doing it now?
Like, so my wheels are all the way turned.
Yeah, all the way turned.
And it's adjusting with whether they're pressing on the gas.
Yeah, so the throttle has cut out when you're turning it.
Yeah.
There we go. So when you're going straight though, everything's fine?
Everything's fine. And if I don't gun it, like I can get it to go.
Yeah, so that's exactly, so it's cutting out the power. So that's why we need a BEC. My assistant, first thing we're gonna do is take off the lid now that they've had a chance to see why the BEC is necessary. Take out the battery, set it off to the side. We're gonna have to remove the battery tray from the top here. So if you could give me the first, here I'll just reach across, excuse me. It's gonna be undoing the screw here. The reason I'm doing this is so I can access the receiver underneath. Now, there's 2 ways I could set up a BEC, and both ways are very important, the way you follow the instructions, because you don't want to be overpowering your electronic speed control. Yeah, we're just going to be removing the top plate there, darling. So let's unscrew this the whole way. Ta-da! Using my Cow RC magnetic pit mat, we won't be losing any of the screws.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, they've got some great products over there. 2 more that I've got set up here. Everything about PiNKY has been customized over the years.
So in the beginning, she was a stock truck.
Oh yeah, and painted pink, eh? I think that was part of the selling feature of getting you involved.
I don't think she's very stock anymore.
No, not at all. Okay, so I did shorten the antenna here so you could have a nice.
Thank you.
You could have a nice stubby.
I don't need to be long.
Oh, what?
What?
What are we talking about the antenna? All right, so moving along, I have gone ahead and waterproofed a Spectrum receiver. This is something that you can get waterproof already. Technology has come a long way. We'll see if we use the same receiver today. Now, one of the mods I've done for these old receiver boxes, because they're water resistant, was once I had the receiver waterproofed, I just drilled a hole right in it. That's so we didn't have standing water when you're going through a mud puddle or, you know, kind of a stream. Yeah, because you don't want it to sit in water. You want the water to run away. Now, a BEC. Let's have a look at this one here. Put your antenna cover out of the way there.
Lots of nice compartments, by the way.
One of the things that they say is super important and is important about a BEC is this red wire in the middle of the servo receiver pin, basically. Okay, this red wire is a power wire that's going to be feeding directly from the battery wires.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this, we're going to be soldering these 2 red wire, the red and black wire, to the plug for the battery, so it's getting direct power from the battery. Wow. Okay. It'll bypass the ESC altogether, okay? And now if we want to power the receiver itself, we would just plug this right into like the bind port, for example, or an auxiliary port, you know, port 4 or 5, whatever you may have on your receiver.
What's the advantage from the receiver to the back? Like what's...
Okay, and so this is going to be supplying direct power right to the receiver. With the ESC, because it has a plug that goes to the receiver as well, it has a power wire that goes to the receiver. We want to remove the power wire from the ESC and leave the signal wire. The signal wire is usually the white one or the orange one. You can see here, there's 3 wires. This one on the outside is the signal. That's telling the receiver whatever it is that you're plugging in there is to do, like the servo, for example. The other 2 is power positive and power negative. Okay, so with the receiver in the ESC, now I've sealed this one up pretty good with some shoe glue. Yeah, so we're going to have to splice in there. In fact, it looks like I left this port open for binding. So we're going to take the razor blade where it is. I got it right here.
Excellent.
Now, if you're, a young fella or something like that, a young hobbyist, make sure that you've got your parents' supervision before you're using a razor. Looks like I already hurt myself there.
I was not supervising for this particular time.
That was not a razor. It got pinched.
So be supervised and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Be safe.
Some of the adults need supervision too, I guess, like me. There's my point.
Case in point.
Case in point. Okay, so the last one was just 2 glued. I did a pretty good job. It was super waterproof, and it's a good opportunity just to use a new waterproof one I have. It's the SR300WP. It's a 1, 2, 3 channel waterproof receiver from Spectrum. I'm just going to quickly bind it up. Let me see, where is your battery? Right here. Turn it on.
Plug it in.
Plug it in.
Love that sound.
All the way down to bind. I've got my bind plug in there. I'm going to take the receiver plug for the ESC, for the FXR, put it into the throttle port for the receiver itself. Bust these apart.
We're getting a special lesson in binding today, folks.
Oh, super easy usually, hey? So make sure the signal is lining up to the signal.
Okay.
There we go. It's in bind mode. You can tell by the blinking light that's on there. I'm in bind for the transmitter. Binding, this will go solid when it is bound. There it is.
Solid it is.
There we go. The FXR ESC has now chimed. It's ready to go. It's now bound to the
Thanks for the controller.
to the radio. There you go. Jeez, I'm getting over a cold. Hey, you can hear it in my voice. Here is the shoe goo I've been talking about. Shoe goo itself, you know, you can use a glove or whatever. If you want to just keep
a glove, just
well, for protection, I get it. If you want to waterproof it, here's something simple you can do. Just take the shoe glue and just push it in, squeeze the tube, kind of like toothpaste.
This actually fixes shoes.
It does actually.
Oh wow!
It's a heck of a it's what is it here? Protective coating.
Oh man!
Basically, off to the side. So now I filled both sides with water, so we don't get water on the inside the BEC. But I have something sexier for you, babe. Of course. Check it out. This is the leading edge machining waterproof BEC enclosure. Now this is specifically made for the Castle Creations 10 amp.
Great, look at that.
Yeah, it does have a it is billet aluminum protective case right there, super light.
Super cool.
Okay. What we're going to do is, even though it's got a gasket there, we can take some silicone or some shoe glue and make sure to put it on there when we actually tighten it down, okay? The reason we want to do this is just to ensure that we've got a waterproof seal all the way around the container.
Celebrate by going in water all the time.
Oh, yeah, I know you will be. Come on. As a team, we're going to be able to get out this summer more often, and I'm excited about that, yeah. So here we go. I'm going to take some shoe glue once again, even though it's a fairly sticky substance.
But not my hands.
Not her hands. Just kind of rub it along the outside.
This is why I make dinner.
Keeping a seal, that's right. Keeping a seal along where that gasket is. Shoe glue, you're not going to be getting... it's pretty fumey, eh? Whoa! This is going to be closed and sealed now, basically permanently, because I used shoe glue. So 4 screws, outside corners. And now your BEC is completely done. And completely waterproof.
Thank you. I love new stuff.
Yeah, well, and a bonus. Now, if I wanted to program this BEC, I could use the Castle Link, so it was giving me 10 amp, but I don't think we're going to need it. You don't have any extra lights or anything right now that you're going to need that for. We could also directly just hook this straight up to the servo, like I was saying. The servo itself can be powered, and then everything is individualized, which is an ideal setup.
Battery. Battery to the front.
Yeah, but I haven't plugged this in. I haven't put
done your magic.
Yeah, I should have done that first. My mistake. This is why I turned on the soldering iron,
which is now perfectly preheated.
I'm gonna go, and now people are conflicted. You could do a variety of things. Because I need these wires to attach to a direct current from the LiPo, I'm gonna just shave off a little of the protective coating.
Okay.
Exposing the wire underneath.
Ooh, it's exciting. Kids, you think you don't need stuff in school? This is exactly what you learn in school.
Well, and outside of school. Hey, you know what? It depends on the school you go to. You never know, right? So the type of solder I'm going to be using today, I'm going to still prefer to use a little bit of flux to help wick the solder into the wire, plus also clean up the wire. So this will help the flux stick. Yep, nope, not quite done there, darling.
I got excited there.
A little bit on either side.
I love cleaning up after we're done. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I bet. Come on, let's be real here. I'm the one doing that too.
She's giving away all of our secrets.
Come on, you got the inside of the house for me. I appreciate that. There we go. So I haven't sliced on either side, like so they'd be touching. It is on the opposite side. So
that's usually good practice to get into.
The soldering points are on either side. Yeah. Now, a lot of people that are OCD are screaming at me right now that they want me to put some protective sheathing on here, but I'm actually just going to be using some electrical tape. Nice. So soldering iron, good to go. Gotta re-tin the end.
Nice.
Yeah, looking pretty there. Okay, so I've put flux on the end of the power lead, of course. And I'm just going to touch it to the wire of the battery wire. Or, no, the wire of the battery wire. That's what it's for right
wire
there.
Wire to wire. Black to black, red to red.
Exactly. Now.
Nice.
Yep, same right here. Just kind of tack it on.
Positive first, then the negative.
Well, there's no battery, if I was working with the battery, for sure, absolutely. So, clean the end of the soldering iron, turn it off, because that's the only soldering that it really needs.
Great.
Yeah, let's just have a quick look inside to the soldering point. Right there on the battery plug itself. It gets a little bit blurry when I get close, but there you can see the wires are attached, just in case you guys were wondering. A little bit of electrical tape. I'm adding some blue to the pink scheme there, dear. Goes with your waterproof servo.
There you go.
Okay, so it's nice and tight. Made sure that the connection points were away from each other. And then that way,
around the positive as well to keep it extra separate.
Oh yeah, everything was individually wrapped. I didn't, yeah, that's a very good point. Thanks for saying that, because I did it off camera. So one side was wrapped, then the other, then we wrapped them together.
Yes. Important to keep those wires safe, guys.
Oh yeah, you don't want any short circuiting, that's for sure. That'll be a very big disappointment. So now the receiver is plugged in. We have everything going. I want to see if we've got the plugs proper for steering.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and one of the things I didn't do that I should have done, that I was talking about doing and didn't do, guys, before you power up, here is the red wire from the ESC. You must remove this wire. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. There's the red wire. You must remove this wire so you don't double power the receiver.
Right. Important step.
Yeah, because the BEC is now powering it. The ESC and the BEC inside the ESC does not need to power the receiver twice. So razor blade, thank you. I won't be cutting this wire in case I want to use it again later, but I'm going to lift this little pin lock. Yeah. In the receiver, and I'm just going to slide the red wire out, just like that, okay? Okay, turn it on. Good, FXR chimes up, that's good news.
Okay.
You're going to need the radio, yeah, put her down. Let's see what we got here. Does it work? Does it work?
Nice.
Good power. Oh, flat spot.
No.
That's okay. We'll get that taken care of. Good. Nice power. How's your servo?
I'm just turning.
Yeah. Let me try and fix that tire for you. It's because I inflated your tires with air, hey? There we go. We'll fix it. You got a bit of a flat spot, but I'll fix it for you.
Okay.
Woo! And can you do full turn? Yeah. And you got speed, so it's working?
Yeah, it seems to be working, but I'm just gonna do.
Yeah, take your time. We'll put, if that's the case, I'll mount the stuff, I'll put the bod on, we'll get you to go outside and give her a rip and tell me if it still cuts out.
So far, so good.
Oh, I like that. And it,
Flat tire.
except a flat tire. I'll take care of that for you, babe, don't worry. Cool, let's bring it in, we'll put the bod on. All right, now I mounted your BEC here and I've actually zip tied this container to the battery tray. It's not going to go anywhere, and a lot of people will be like, oh, it's a higher center of gravity, but really no much higher than the motors that are there, and it's so light, right?
Yeah.
Plus this gives you the ability to use the full length of a battery if you wanted to use like a 5,000 milliamp hour.
Which you never know.
Yeah, this is only a 2 or a 3S 2200, which will last at least 20 minutes of driving for you, at least.
Which, you know, 20 minutes might not sound like a lot, but we're stopping and going a lot. So.
Yeah, well, and they're light batteries. You can always bring a few with you, you know.
Yeah, so, you can.
And there you go. There's your rig. Your G-Made shocks, they're functioning well. I think it's time to take it outside and see how she does. What do you think, my dear?
The sunlight.
I don't know, let's go see.
This is where wheel speed and proper grip will help.
What?
Yeah, I know, it sinks in, hey? Try to go over, there you go, out there. Watch where the high points are. You can do this. It's not cutting out though, hey?
Yeah, no, it's not, which is good.
Beautiful, good job.
Very stable. Tripping up on there.
For first timers, I suggest standing behind your rig because not only is it an incline, it's twisted.
Yeah, that's what the problem is. Oh, it throws me to the side really quickly.
Looks like someone needs some practice. That's a whole different video, isn't it?
That's a whole different video.
Is your glitching gone?
See, feels to be gone.
Your BEC is doing its job?
It's doing its job. Thank you.
You can do this.
Ah,
I know, it's got a twist in it.
it does. It's a
It makes
nasty twist.
Makes it challenging.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a twist.
see? A lot of people don't know. They think it's straight, but it's been done with a twist in it to make it extra challenging. It wants to throw you off. So, ride your tire on this inside line and on the outside line, and as you slip, you'll start to center. There you go. Oh, you're back. There you go. Keep going. Good job, babe. Throttle control. Look at that. She'll start to tip.
All right, so what do you think?
Way better, way better. She doesn't cut out at all. There's
No cutout?
Yeah.
Nice. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
So if you guys are noticing after you install a servo or something that your truck isn't responding the way it should and it seems to be cutting out on power or glitching out, one of the problems could be that you need an external BEC. Leave your comments in the video section below and I'll leave links or any kind of information I think you need for a BEC, and I will see you in the next episode of RC Adventures.
Get outside and have some fun.
Yeah. Okay, so here, I know you guys want to know. I just put it up on the bench. I'm feeling the ESC. Not bad. I don't feel any extreme heat at all. I do have heat at the end of each motor, just from where the comm has been spinning. So But the ESC feels great. Ha ha ha. Now you know. I'll be finding out more. Yeah, the bottom motor is a little bit hot. I wonder how the mesh is. Oh, good. Oh, I lost a pinion. That's why. Oh, darn it. Next time.